Oh my goodness, horses. Okay, so I love horses, equines, donkeys, ponies, mules. I love them. When I was a little girl, an infant, my mom had been walking down a road and she was a city girl. She didn't know anything about horses. And she came upon a pasture with a horse. And the horse trotted up to the fence and she let me touch its nose, and the horse like blew in my face. And I got to pet the softness of the horse's nose and smell it. And from that just instant, as an infant, I feel like I was just connected at a heart and soul level with horses. When I was 5 years old, on my fifth birthday at the farmhouse, the apple tree was blossoming and the air was just rich and wonderful in scents. And I stood at the window, and down the road came a truck and a trailer. And my grandpa brought two white ponies to our farm for my fifth birthday, like every little girl's dream, right? At the time. It was a Welsh Mountain Cob named Misty. It was white. And her daughter, uh, a mare named Licorish. Now, she was called Licorish because many white horses are actually born with black fur and then they gray out and become white as they get older. Not a lot of horses are actually born pure white, which a lot of people don't know. Also, horses' skin is usually black, but sometimes has white in it. And sometimes, like if they have a snip on their nose, some horses that are domesticated actually have suntan lotion put on their noses when they have white skin. It's really interesting, so they don't get sunburned. Just a random aside. But yeah, so my mom knew nothing about ponies. I imagine it was pretty overwhelming for her as a city girl to have kids that were 5, 3, and 1, and suddenly also have to figure out how to take care of ponies while her husband was working full time. God bless my mom. Um, but yeah, so we had little pony saddles and we just learned how to ride the ponies. And it was so fun. And sometimes I just go out there and it's old enough to crawl on a fence and then crawl on top of their backs and just hang out with them while they were eating sometimes. And it was so wonderful to just get to learn, to just be around the horses. And um, unfortunately, I did get injured. I had a head injury, my first one. There's been multiple. We'll talk about that in our life story journey here. When I was 10, I flew off the 17 hand gelding that we had. Um, yeah, we'll talk maybe more about that down the line. But yeah, that's the first time I was knocked unconscious. Horses went away after that for like 6 years. And every single day from age 10 to 16, it's like the most consistent I think I've been at literally anything in my entire life. Every single day. When we got the newspaper, I would go through the classified ads and I would circle the horse that I wanted and try and convince my family to buy me a new horse for 6 years. And then finally, on my 16th birthday, I actually got both a car, which is amazing, and more on that story later because that's a long, fun story as well. And I got another horse. Got the wrong horse. I got a mother and her filly um, instead of, and then the mother was like, she was a young mom. She was a 3-year-old mare that had her first filly. We were such novice horse buyers. Like, and my life would have been so radically different had I just gotten like some 20-year-old horse that'd been there, done that, that I could ride around the neighborhood and like do different things with. But I love horses. They bring me such joy. I actually ended up getting my postgraduate degree in equine assisted learning, and that's how my coaching journey started in 2017, and getting to work with my own horses again and kids that had dropped out of school. So meandering stories, everything like weaves into itself. But yeah, being able to work with horses, like kids should not ride at higher than a walk before age 5 because of the structure of your neck and the bounciness. So just as a random aside for anybody out there, um, just structurally. And but yeah, it was so great to get to learn hard work. Like when I was a kid, I was out there calling hoses to fill up water tanks. And then when it was too cold in the winter, I would carry gallon buckets to fill the water jugs for the horses because they were my responsibility. So I was out there scooping poop. Like there's pictures of me hauling a wheelbarrow around when I'm at least 8, cleaning the pastures and doing manure management and hauling hay. And my grandfather had a farm, 320-acre farm in Centralia, Washington, and we used to buck bales. So meaning like the kids would help drive the cars, the trucks rather, and the rest of us would be on the ground tossing like at least 75-pound bales of hay onto the back of these trucks. I think as early as like 10, we were probably lifting that kind of weight and throwing it into the back, which was cool. I've also been 5'4" since I was 10. So yeah, it just stopped growing before I even hit puberty, which is funny. Yeah, so many amazing memories with horses. I think it's really important to teach kids work ethic from a young age. Like doing manual labor is so great. Chores, like cleaning, yard work, building things, being in connection and like with animals and having stewardship, I think is really important. To understand the care, the discipline, the time it takes, and help to reduce entitlement and increase responsibility. Um, and also just being around animals, being around horses really helps with co-regulation. It helps us with our mental health, helps us with our physical and emotional strength. Um, yeah, connection, respect, respecting sentient beings. It's so good. So today's video is a tad bit more rambly because I feel like there's just so much having to do with horses. But um, yeah, it's such a core memory for me at 5, having grandpa roll up with that horse trailer and the ponies and the beautiful life journey that that started for me in connection with horses, both positive, negative, from like how I grew as a person, injuries that I had, navigating loss, so much compounded into the story of horses. But yeah, there's your rambly day 4 of 365 of stories of Alicia's life. So stay tuned for tomorrow and we'll see what the next layer holds. So much more.